starting out with Wave Oven Recipes. Today, going to be doing fried chicken wings in the Cuisinart digital air fry toaster oven. So we're going to see how this thing turns out some fried chicken, and we're going to get started right now. Alright, so here are our ingredients for our fried chicken wings. We're going to be air frying. I've got some whole wings here, and basically this is like a 6-pound pack. I won't be using all of this, but I'll be using for this batch for this video what can fit in the air fryer basket there. I've got 4 large eggs. I've got 2 cups of buttermilk. Those are going to be my egg wash. And then for the breading, I'm going to use 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of yellow cornmeal, 1 ounce of Old Bay seasoning, 1 ounce of Mrs. Dash chicken grilling blend, and 1 ounce of freshly cracked black pepper. I will say there's no perfect way. You know, do what you like to do as far as your air frying and the mixture you like to use. Some folks like to use the breadcrumbs and such, and others like to do other ways. I like to do this way, so do your thing. And so to start, I'm going to get the wet ingredients mixed and the dry ingredients mixed. Alright, so got the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients mixed together. And I will say, for you who feel that this chicken must be washed, I have a playlist for you in the video description called Food Safety. I recommend that you view it. Now I'm going to take this chicken and going to start dipping it into the egg wash, then the breading, then get those wings here on the air fryer basket, which I have the baking pan underneath. Alright, so I'm able to get 7 on about fairly comfortably, and this air fryer basket being basically the exact same air fryer basket in my opinion as the Nuwave Bravo XL Smart Oven air fryer. You'll probably get about 7 in there. This is 1 more than I can usually get in the Power Air Fryer Ovens crisper tray. So let's get these sprayed down all over with some cooking spray. Alright, got things sprayed down the way I like them. I like them to cook in that cooking spray. Now I'm going to open up the Cuisinart digital air fryer toaster oven. Put things on rack level number 2. Trying to make sure nothing is going to hit up into the heating elements. It's got everything in there. Alright, now I'm going to just turn it on. I'm just going to hit the air fry button to get into the air fry options. I'm going to turn down to wings. It defaults to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 minutes. I'm going to see how that does. I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'll let it run for about maybe 15 minutes and then maybe see if I need to flip after that. But we're going to start with this and see how things go. So we're started, and I'll bring you back. Alright, things are about to drop to 10 minutes left, which would mean that 15 minutes have passed and it's cooked at 400 degrees and it's gone 10. So now I'm going to open up, I'm going to hit the light, and I want to try and see if I can flip things. Things are kind of hitting the heating element up there. Some of my wings are hitting my heating element. So what we see here is things got really well cooked. Really well cooked in 15 minutes on one side. I mean, that's a pretty solid air fry on that side. I'm going to flip them. You can see the other side is looking pretty crispy too. And that's just 15 minutes. It's because this has 4 heating elements up top there that are doing a whole lot of cooking. So I'm just flipping these over. I don't even know if they need 10 more minutes at this rate. But they're getting pretty well air fried. I'd say this is, for a convection toaster oven, I think this is probably some of the best performance we've seen in 15 minutes. I mean, at 400 degrees, 15 minutes, great stuff. I'm just touching up some of the areas. I got a little My smoke alarm's about to go off. Alright, so that smoke event, the smoke alarms finally stopped going off on me. I moved things down to that lower level 1 rack and gonna let it continue cooking there for, I guess I'll let it go maybe the next 10 minutes just to let it cook out, but definitely with something that sticks up, points up like chicken wings, and sure I could have cut the wing tips off, but I've explained in a previous video why I don't. But anyway, something that's got like, you know, tips sticking up or things like that, you're definitely going to have to use rack level 1 instead of rack level 2 because things get into those heating elements and then you got smoke. So we'll let it continue from this point like this on the lower rack, and I'll bring you on back when this is done. Alright, so this chicken's been going for 22 minutes total, 7 minutes on the flip side, and it's looking real done. So I'm just going to go ahead and just hit the stop and hit the light, open things up, and just for food safety's sake I'll test a piece for temperature. So we'll see how far that goes up. But you can see things are really hard fried on some of those pieces, looking real good and done. So I don't think we'll have a problem getting well over 165. And yeah, we're over 165 and it's rolling upward. So we're going to stop that testing there because we knew it was going to be real hot because we're you know, doing a good air fry on it. Now you can see the air fried chicken. You see there's no smoke coming at this point. There's no smoke at all. It was because I had things up on that higher level and some stuff was getting into the heating elements. That's the only reason any smoke was created, and that didn't start until I started pulling things out. And when I started pulling things out, some pieces hit those heating elements, and that's what caused the smoke. But don't fear that this cooker somehow causes smoke or has smoke issues. It's just, if you're going to put things up high, you got to make sure that they're not things that are going to have anything that might stick up or perhaps hit the heating elements when you try and pull them out. Alright, I'm just going to get a piece off for taste testing here. We'll get this piece here. You can see it's well cooked. It's got some that it lost there. Let's get another one. We'll try another piece. Alright, this piece here has more of his breading retained. I'm gonna go ahead and do that one for our taste test. So turned out real good, really hard fried. Now keep in mind this was at 23 minutes at 400 degrees, so it cooked up pretty quick and it cooked up real good. I will say for the crispiness of fry in that amount of time, this is probably the best I've seen from a convection toaster oven. This reminds me more of something like the power air fryer oven or other types of more dedicated air fryer types in cooking. Now I'm going to just give that a couple more seconds to cool while I switch the camera around. We'll do a taste test of this piece of fried chicken from the Cuisinart digital air fryer toaster oven. Alright, our air fried chicken wing. I know I could separate the two pieces, but I'm just going to do a taste test straight up like this. Now, that makes some good work of fried chicken, and it does it up pretty well, does it up in good time. And so we see those 4 heating elements on the top of the Cuisinart digital air fryer toaster oven with that air fryer fan coming down. They do some good work when you're air frying. So you know, this is pretty good. You can see like a video where I did some Eggo waffles in it. The cooking was a little less even, so you can see that this cooker is really good for air frying, but you know, the traditional toaster, you know, it's not as good as probably just some other plain toaster ovens that would just do toaster oven work instead of air frying. Alright, so this here is that second batch that I said I was going to do later. I was thinking about not doing it on camera, but I'm going to show you it because basically in this batch I threw everything else in, put it on the lowest rack level, and so there's basically like 11 or 12 wings in here. They've been cooking for 15 minutes, everything done the exact same way. So they're down to the last 10, and so I'm going to pull them on out of here. We got a lot of a lot of areas that are going to need a little spraying, but you see 15 minutes on the lower rack, everything looks pretty much like it did when it was cooked on that higher rack. So you can cook on this lower rack the same way, doing some air frying, and things still turn out pretty sweet. So I'm just going to get these flipped real quick. Alright, so we got things flipped, not a whiff of smoke. The smoke alarm is very happy that I used the lower rack. If you cut your tips, and of course if you want to cut your tips, you can just go ahead and probably put them on the higher rack if you so choose. I'm going to close that up, let those go ahead and finish. Alright, so let these go for 23 minutes. It's just a minute longer than the other one, but stopping and going to hit the light, let you have a look at these here. You can see they're very well done, and you know, they turned out pretty good. So you can do them on that lower rack, do your air frying, turns out good, not a whiff of smoke the entire cook. So you know, all depending on how you cook. If you're one who likes to keep those wing tips, and you know people who like to suck on those wing tips and enjoy those wing tips, you know, leave a comment about that. Last time I asked, nobody knew, or nobody responded, so maybe nobody except for a few people I know are into it. But anyway, got the wings knocked out good here on the lower rack. This thing air fries really great. I'm impressed with its air frying capabilities, and so there you go. Anyway, this turned out pretty good. You can find this and other recipes at superwaveovenrecipes.com. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Wave Oven Recipes. You can get directly to this YouTube channel anytime by going to waveovenrecipes.com. Also, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and good eating.